What's up, everybody? You're here with the Fly Guy. All right, I'm going to talk a little bit today just about the challenges that I've faced living in the province here in the Philippines. Let's get right into it. Let's walk and talk. Before I dive into this video, I just want to say that these things, these observations and experiences that I'm seeing and going through here are not indicative of the entire Filipino population. They are not indicative of every single medical facility in the province. I love the Filipino people. I've had some really great experiences since I've been here, and it's been, wonderful, in some regards, but it's also been difficult, and that's why I'm sharing this video. These things that I'm going to state are statements of fact. These things do exist. These things have happened. It's not up for debate. It's not an opinion. The things that happen here on a regular basis, those are facts. Those are not my opinion or interpretation. So, let's get into it. One of the biggest issues that I've faced since I've come here to the province, being a remote worker, there are constant brownouts. And by constant, there is typically like 3 to 5 a week, almost daily. And when the typhoon remnants from the Manila area started to move through the province area and we had heavy rains and heavy weather, the brownouts were 2 to 3 times daily. Sometimes we would be without power for 12 hours or more. And there's no cell service out here. So if your Wi-Fi connection does not have a battery backup, if you have no type of, backup generator or backup battery power, and you don't have Wi-Fi, you are completely disconnected from the outside world. As a remote worker, someone who makes a living online, works remotely, I have found out the very hard way that your working conditions change with the power situation. I've had nothing but issues trying to navigate the brownouts and the Wi-Fi issues. The Wi-Fi out here, best case scenario, is really fast cell service. But it's fast cell service for the Philippines, not in general. If you've ever lived anywhere, outside of a developing nation, you understand what fast cell service is like. This is not quick. When the internet is up and running, you may have problems sending emails, attaching a JPEG, getting into your cloud storage to access a Word document. Very simple things that you may have taken for granted while you have had a solid internet connection or a fast internet connection. You will be thoroughly thankful when the internet is up and running at top speed here, because the very basic of things and needs that the internet can provide can be stripped from you in seconds. To say that the electrical grid and power issues out here are minimal and easy to navigate would be completely false. There's more to that problem that I can't even begin to tell you how frustrated I am with it. And the reason being is because of what you pay for it. The people here, they value, the basics of life, which is how it should be. Family. Some of the things that, Westerners in the United States take for granted. Families are so divided. Men and women are so divided. And to see unity in adversity here in the Philippines is, something that not only I respect, but it's something that we could take a lesson from in the United States, because we just don't have it. Unity is not even there is nothing going on in regards to unity in the United States right now, politically, in families, between men and women, in schools. Everything is divided, and a house divided cannot stand. And to see people here come together and be unified, even if things aren't perfect, it really is something to commend. and it's something that I appreciate about this place. This is just a small market. It operates on Mondays, but people come here and bring their crops, they bring their catches, their meat, and it's 100% natural stuff grown right off the land here. And that's one thing I've been thankful about being here, is the fresh vegetables, fruits, the meats. There's no chemicals. And ever since I came here, I've lost weight. I've shed the very little remaining fat that's on my body. Even, if every now and then I indulge in tandoori or have a couple beers or maybe a dessert, I'm losing weight, and it's because I'm eating healthy and I'm exercising. Another issue that I've seen firsthand since I've been here is theft and burglary. It's a huge problem. People in tough situations make bad decisions, but it is rampant across this whole entire country. My father-in-law has had a scooter for years, and somebody stole it right out from in front of the house. And in order for the police to be motivated to assist, he provided what's called financial support. Let me tell you what that really is. Not only does the government compensate those employees, right? But he essentially bought a case. It's just a nice way, when you say provide support, or you have to buy help from the police, it's just another way of saying corrupt. And it's pretty sad. And the fact that you can't get a case resolved without throwing some cash down on the table and still not getting it resolved. I'm not saying things are perfect. Well, that means that the bike's found, but you get what I'm saying. All right, so most of you that have followed me from my journey from the United States to the Philippines are aware that right when I got back to the Philippines for my second trip and moving from the United States, I tore my Achilles tendon within 2 weeks of arriving in the country. Not really the best start. I've had a real eye-opening, awakening experience to what it's like to need access to quality health care since I've been here. I have been living rurally, and access to medical care is difficult. With my foot casted, this would have been 3 weeks after the injury. I didn't even have the opportunity to get it in a cast until 3 weeks after the injury and after I got married. I was taking bus rides 2.5 to 3 hours into the city to get to a hospital so that I could get the health care that I needed. I visited one hospital nearby in Topaz out of necessity because I got bit by a puppy on my face and had to go get a round of rabies shots and tetanus shots. It's been quite an eye-opening experience, to say the least. All the hospitals that are local and not in Iloilo are dirty. And I saw things that I knew if I continued to get medical care in these facilities, I don't know that I would have got what I needed. I can completely understand why it is challenging and difficult for local people to access quality health care and access it affordably. And my heart goes out to the people here in the Philippines for that reason, because I've experienced it firsthand. And the health care that I was getting in Iloilo was very good. I was at a private hospital, and I was getting exactly what I needed. I got my foot casted. I kind of formulated a recovery plan with my doctor. But traveling back and forth between the province 2.5 to 3 hours one way was just insane. And because of this, it took a little bit longer for my foot to heal. I can honestly say that. If I was not a physically active person, I could see this being a life-changing injury. And being out here in the province, it could have easily gone another way. There's no even walking area. The roads are in bad shape. Even the homes, it's not like it's straight up to get to a house. I mean, you're walking up hills, you're walking on stones, loose dirt and gravel, and when you're on crutches and you're on a bad foot, that makes life difficult. Hey, Bear. Good boy. Another issue that I faced while in the province here was that people who were close to me and my wife, they didn't necessarily take the injury seriously. An Achilles tendon tear is not a simple, small injury. I could have easily required surgery. The concerns that came from some people were, are you going to be able to look right when you walk down the aisle? Instead of, wow, this is a really serious injury, how can we help you? It's just a mindset. The mindset here, the most local people, of course, because it's the province, and if anybody knows anything about the Philippines, they understand that everybody talks. And I know that's something that is indicative of small town anywhere in the world, but it is a big thing here. Everybody talks. And my injury was a highlight of concern because I was a foreigner. There were a lot of people. I can't tell you how many times I walked down the road and was crutching down the road and people pointed and laughed. People just didn't take it seriously and didn't really care if I was doing better. I'm not saying that everybody needs to take a general interest in my life and be obsessed with my injury. What I am saying is that people took a very different attitude than what I'm used to quite frankly, a very serious injury that could have gotten a lot worse. So, people that were family, people that were close to me, there were great people that helped me. My wife's sister, her cousin who was a doctor. My wife's sister scheduled appointments for me at the private hospital where she works. She really stepped up to the plate and has just been a great coordinator and caretaker. She is absolutely in the correct field for her personality and for who she is as a person. And if Yet is watching this video, I just want to let you know that you're a champion at life and you are greatly appreciated. So one of the challenges that I've faced here in the province, and this is a big one, this is one that I really struggle with, is the unrealistic expectation that because I'm married to a Filipina, that if there's ever something that comes up as like a problem or an issue, or there's randomly regular investment opportunities, air quotes, into businesses or government projects, that my wallet is supposed to open. And I want to provide just a quick word of advice for any men who are looking to move to a foreign country like the Philippines. If you want to become an expat, if you have a foreign love interest, you're going to be getting married, you need to have conversations early. I told my wife very early on that I was not going to be the family's ATM, that I was not going to be providing assistance to regular and routine emergencies or investing in things that the family is interested in. I said my first responsibility is to my wife and my future children. I reiterated that to her a couple times to reinforce that, and she was very accepting and understanding of that, and that's what makes her very special. Men of all ages that are watching this, if you've gotten this far, I'm going to provide a little statement here regarding family and money. It's up to you how you spend your money. It's up to you how you invest. It's up to you how you provide for your family. At the end of the day, since I've dealt with family here in the Philippines, the one thing that I can say is this. If you see family members sitting around doing nothing, if you see family members refusing to go to work, if you see people throwing their money away at everything but their responsibilities and their bills, you are not required by any measure of the statement to buy them out of their bad decision making. It's funny to me how I've noticed that the same people that are asking for money on a regular basis and are offended when that money does not come forth from my wallet never seem to have a shortage of whiskey or beer available to them. And they've always got a drink in their hand, and they've always got something to eat. I know what it's like to struggle financially, but I will tell you this. You're not struggling financially if you always have a meal to eat and you've got beer and whiskey to drink too. Men, stay sharp. Everybody, everywhere, in every corner of the globe wants to take what you have. And it's your job to protect your kingdom. Just look out here. I love how quiet it is right here. I love the water. Since I've come here and I've been local and people have realized that I'm here, I have been approached regularly about investing in certain things. And one of the biggest investments that they have wanted me to do is investing in acquiring a government contract to improve the roads. I just want you to think about that statement. There's so much that I could dive into with this one, but that's not really the goal of this video, is not to kind of dissect that too far, but anybody watching can kind of put one and two together there. But I'm not going to be investing in a government road project here in the Philippines, because at the end of the day, that road is going to break down, and it's only going to be a temporary fix to a permanent problem. The government does not invest in its people here. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope some of these things that I've experienced can help shed some light on some of the things that you might face if you choose to be out here in the province or be out here in the Philippines and move here as an expat. I appreciate all of my subscribers. It has not been easy for me transitioning here just because of all the logistical stuff. It's been a long journey ever since I decided to do this over a year ago, longer than that. So there's been a lot that's gone with it from when I was in the United States and now to here. So it's all part of the journey. If you like this video, go ahead and hit thumbs up. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe for more Philippines, fly fishing, and fly tying videos. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Take care, and we'll catch you next time.